So I want guidance. I want leadership. But don't just like boss me around, you know? Like lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. So I want guidance. I want leadership. But don't just like boss me around, you know? Like lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. So I want guidance.
By the way, that should have been in video.
Who is this guy? It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's from The Office. Oh, we should have had Andrew's reaction while that was playing. Andrew,
that was fantastic.
Your reaction to that?
He's completely right. That's a type of nonsensical thing that I hear nonstop all the time, especially when we're asking about submission, we're asking about marriage, you're wondering why so many of them fail. That's actually the primary reason, is because of the inconsistency in women's ideology and the inconsistency in how they view relationships. I want to be led when I want to be led. I want this when I want that. It's like, that's not submission, that's not marriage, it's nonsense. I don't know what the hell that is. But this is what we hear time and time and time again. And it's complete and total, from my purview, cognitive dissonance of, I just don't know what the hell I want. And there's a huge and ample array of studies which show that women basically all over the world, and I'm going to tell you this, right? And I'll give those to Brian if he wants to show them to anybody. Basically, women everywhere are unhappy and miserable. Everywhere in the whole world. They're just never happy. It's crazy. But when they're polled, right, when they always have a lesser happiness index, no matter where. Even in the countries where they're supposed to be the happiest, they're just always miserable. And it's because I think a lot of this feminism and westernized ideology has been exported. And basically women have forgotten what their place in the world is. And it's not beside a man, it's behind him.
Cool. Do you guys agree or disagree? Agree? Disagree? Thoughts? Opinions?
That's why
feelings?
Women are unhappy.
I think if you have Jesus, you're happy.
love
Period. You're grateful
Well, a lot of
every
them claim
day.
they
You're
have
grateful
Jesus and
every
also
day
claim
that
they're
He
quite
saved your
miserable,
life,
so.
and you want to spread that to other people, and you are happy. If you're not, then obviously there's something that you need to work on. Mm-hmm. So I think you're comparing it maybe to, I don't know where you get your stats, but it's definitely not.
Well, you can find them over on Rachel Wilson's Substack. She did an entire article on this, explaining where all of
On
these
miserable Christians
different
who have a relationship with Jesus.
What?
No, he's saying just women in general because of following the
Yeah.
feminism movement.
Yeah, but even if they identify as being Christians, they're still miserable.
No, then
Well, I
there
mean-
are many, right? But I
Yeah,
mean,
there are
for
many.
me,
They're not following
I have
him
had
correctly.
a close relationship to God for 12 years, and I've been consecutively like full of joy for the last 12 years. Like, I'm very happy. I'm happily married. I love my husband. I love my children. Like, you know, sure, I've had seasons like after giving birth where things were hard, but for the most part, I've had consecutive joy for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. I understand what you're saying, but this really doesn't address what I'm saying, which is that there's many people who identify as being Christians who are still, especially females, seem to be quite miserable.
Yeah.
Right? That,
They must not be following Him correctly.
No, I mean,
it's because wait.
they had a relationship
I thought
with him,
there
they'd
was
be
no
so full of
standard a
joy.
minute ago.
They'd be so
It's
full of
just
joy
about
like
your
you.
relationship with the Lord. There's no standard. They're not following him correctly. That's so weird.
yeah, I
I
mean,
thought there was no
I've met a
standard
lot of
5 minutes
women in the
ago.
church who are very unhappy. They're negative, they're complainers, all the things. But then when I ask them about their spiritual walk, like they don't read their Bible hardly ever. They show up to church, and that's
'cause they
about
have
it.
to.
So it's more than that. Like, you should be reading your Bible daily. You should be praying and worshiping and spending time with God, because the fruit of the Spirit is joy. One of the fruits of the Spirit is joy. And so if you're an unhappy person, then what's going on in your heart that's making you unhappy that you haven't either sought therapy or allowed Jesus to heal you from?
Therapy's an L, bro. Red flag.
You
if
can
she's
find
in
this. It's
therapy.
called The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness. It's fantastic. I highly recommend that people read this so that they understand it. But everything that you just said would still adhere to a standard, right? So we're talking about a standard.
So you don't try to make your wife happy because she's already miserable.
No, I didn't say
kind of
that. It has
basic.
nothing to do with.
It's kind of basic.
Why? How does that even follow? Can you explain the logic to me? I'm going to sit
Well,
here
you're saying
patiently while you
you're saying
explain
all
how
women
that even
are
made sense.
miserable. You're saying all women are miserable, so you don't even have to.
I don't think he said all women.
No,
No, that's not what I said.
He didn't
I
say
said
that.
that there is a paradox of the decline of female happiness globally, and that basically everywhere you pull them, they're less happy than men. Almost everywhere.
Wait,
They're
Andrew,
less
can I,
happy
added
than
in
men.
the Christianity
Andrew, can I be
part.
devil's advocate here? You probably hear this retort.
I feel like men aren't as honest with their
Andrew,
emotions.
then how do you explain the fact that men are deleting themselves at higher rates, if that's true?
And they're not as honest
Because they're
about their
better at it.
emotions.
Okay.
They both, it's true. They both, actually, when it comes to unaliving, women and men are about on par with the attempts. It just happens that men are so good and skilled at basically everything they do that they actually follow through
Damn, this is kinda
and
dark.
actually end up with the termination, whereas women do not because they f***ing suck at it. That's why, I mean, I'm not even kidding. That's
They
true.
suck
The
at deleting
attempts made
themselves.
are about equal. They just suck at it.
I have a question for Andrew.
Word.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about putting in a tampon?
What the fuck? Wait, actually, you know what?
That was a joke. I'm totally kidding.
Like
but
men?
I was just like,
Are you talking about like trans women?
I mean, no, but just like
Trans women?
I
I
just
bet.
was just like, are men really better at putting in tampons?
Like I think trans women
a
are
joke.
probably better.
Yeah, I'm sure
No.
that male doctors who are gynecologists probably
That's
are.
totally a joke, though,
Like-
Andrew.
But
Yeah,
you know
no, it was a
what?
joke back. It's just that mine was funny. But anyway.
But actually, like trans women or whatever, like
Right.
I think they're kind of like better at a lot of shit.